Good morning, everybody. What's going on? It's good to see you. Today's day 15 of my sunrise hike challenge with no coffee. Now, the with no coffee is like the little extra piece on this challenge that I didn't really mean to necessarily throw in there. Well, I did mean to throw it in there in the beginning. But I keep trying to convince myself that I didn't mean it because I want some coffee. But I was just drinking too much coffee. That was the reason. I don't think coffee's bad. It's an antioxidant. I like coffee. I just didn't. I just was drinking a lot, like a couple pots a day. So I need to be productive now, and I'm feeling like my body's still trying to recover. But so I may have a couple. I don't know. I just really want a cup of coffee. It's been 15 days. I'm halfway through this challenge. I'm gonna keep hiking, but I don't know. It's definitely cheating if I have a cup of coffee. But it's also like, is that a bad cheat? I don't know. I'm justifying it to you guys right here on camera so you guys can tell me in the comments below if you think I could have a cup of coffee on day 15. I just want to see what you guys think about it. But I'm gonna keep up this hiking, and I might keep up the no coffee. We're gonna find out. But anyway, so hope you guys are having an excellent day. It is Monday. It's the beginning of this new week. So I hope you guys have a great day at work today. And there's a couple things I could talk about today. If you haven't put in the comment box below what your 30-day challenge is gonna be, please put it in the comment box below. Also, before I get started, I started releasing my shareable nuggets 2 days ago. I went full preacher on a lot of these videos, full preacher mode, and you can check them out. The first one was up 2 days ago, and then yesterday I talked about my 2-minute shareable nugget, talked about if you're in a rut. And if you're in a rut, I talked about you could pave that rut with a rhythm. Pave that rut with a rhythm. And I want to maybe talk about that today, actually. Let's just talk about that today. Because how many of you out there feel like you're in a rut? Are you in a rut right now? Or do you feel like maybe it's just a new sense of direction? Maybe everything's going pretty good. You're doing some really great stuff. Life is good. Like, you really can't complain, but you need a new direction. There's even ruts in the good stuff. So a rut is just where you're feeling like you're stuck a little bit. And if you're stuck a little bit, if you're feeling like you're in a rut, we need to identify that rut, and we need to pave that rut with a rhythm. Now, there's a difference between music and noise. There's a big difference between music and noise. It's a similar thing, but there's a very big difference. And what is the difference between music and noise? The difference between those two is structure. There's structure in music, there's no structure in noise. Noise is the chaos. Music is the distillation of the chaos that's organized in a fashion that we can enjoy it. And so, music versus noise. That's where I really want you to be able to pave your rut with some music, because once you pave your rut, now you're making music, and you're not just making noise, or you're not just living in the noise. You're converting the noise around you into music. Now, what does it mean to pave your rut? You probably know, because it kind of makes sense in one way. Maybe it just makes sense in my mind, but I'm gonna tell you, paving your rut is giving yourself a routine. A daily routine, a morning routine, or whatever that is. If you're in a rut right now, it's probably because as you enter the real world of life, chaos is there. Chaos lives in the real world. The real world lives in chaos. It's just, as we enter the real world, we cannot live without walking through chaos, if that makes sense to you. I don't love walking through chaos. But what I find is there's a way to pave my rut with a rhythm, so as I walk through that chaos doesn't drop me. Because when the chaos drops me, like in the past, before I had my rut paved with a rhythm, when the chaos would drop me, I would fall back into my rut. And so the chaos can be anything that happens outside of us. And chaos also happens within us too, because a lot of this stuff happens within us and then expresses itself outside of us. So maybe we experience more chaos if we're going through chaos in here or in our body. So in order to pave that rut with a rhythm, we need to find some time for ourselves. And I call that my daily cocoon. So if you guys have a daily cocoon right now, then that's awesome. Put in the comments below what your daily routine is, or your morning routine. But now, once you start paving your rut just means being intentional with how you want to start your day. Being intentional with the place that you're going to be able to fall back into as the chaos hits. Because the chaos used to drop me. And when it dropped me, I would fall into my rut and I would stay there for a period of time. Maybe it was a week. Maybe it was only a day sometimes if it wasn't that bad of a situation. But sometimes it would drop me for a week and I didn't want to do anything. Or sometimes it would drop me for, like in my worst depression, it dropped me for 2 years. Sometimes it'll drop you for a month. But I don't want to be dropped anymore because of the chaos. I want to control the chaos. And the way I control the chaos is by filtering the chaos. So as I walk through the chaos, I've installed a daily chaos filter in my brain that it won't drop me anymore. But if I do enter some chaos that does drop me, now when I get dropped, I fall back into my rhythm that I have planned. I've designed this rhythm. When the daily chaos of life hits me and I'm able to fall back into my morning routine, fall back into my fruit smoothies, fall back into my hiking on the mountain, these are new pavings over top of my rut. Does that make sense? Give yourself some habitual things to do that are good for you. Some habits. Install some habits in your brain that will pave your rut. So whatever rut you fall into, identify that. And then say, what if I didn't fall into that rut? What if I was able to fall somewhere else when chaos hit? What if I was able to fall back into a rhythm that I planned that I like? Then, if you fall into a rut for a day, you can climb over on top of your rhythm. And now you're on top of your rhythm. And you just got to do that for a couple days and boom, you're back. Or maybe even just one day. But my daily chaos filter for most of the chaos around me allows me to take any of the time that I was dropped, and it allows me to actually move through that chaos instead of, I'm not even dropped for an hour, I'm not dropped for a day, I'm not dropped for a week, I'm dropped for literally a minute. And sometimes you might have to so there's different kinds of cocoons. There's different kinds of cocoons that I've identified. The first kind of cocoon is a daily cocoon. That's our morning routine. That's what you got to do for yourself. Structured alone time, not isolation, not loneliness. Structured alone time. Give yourself at least 3 tasks to do, maybe 2, maybe 30-minute, but maybe 20-20-20, or maybe 10-10-10 and then a 30. You know, you could take your hour and you could do, and there's a really good book called The 5 a.m. Club with Robin Sharma wrote it. You could check out what he does in his morning routine, but I think you should have a morning routine. If you don't already have one. Now, what is your morning? Your morning may be 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you wake up really late because you stay up really late, but that's okay. You can still do a morning routine. Maybe your morning routine will have to be shifted at night. If you work really, really late, maybe you have to take an hour before you go to work or an hour after you go to work, after you're back home, before you go to bed to yourself. That is a daily cocoon. But there's other kinds of cocoons. There is a extended cocoon. A daily cocoon is 1 hour a day for yourself, which equals 6.5 40-hour weeks over the course of a year that you just gave yourself. 6.5 full 40-hour weeks over the course of a year. So a daily cocoon is a really good thing to do. Now maybe you can even double that daily cocoon and do 2 hours a day. That would be 13 full-time 40-hour weeks to yourself over the course of a year. Focusing on your dreams. Now, you can spend your structured alone time growing, or you can waste that structured alone time. So just be careful when you get into your cocoon. Don't waste the cocoon time. If you structure your cocoon, don't sit there and read a romance novel unless you're a romance novel writer. Then maybe that's homework for you. But don't do things that are part of your brain shut off. Do things that are part of your brain turn on, which is reading a book that's going to enhance your life in some way, that's going to improve your life some way. Exercise. Give yourself a fruit smoothie. write, journal. That's the biggest one, I think. Well, journaling and reading are two really huge ones for me. Journaling and planning your day. That's the biggest one, I gotta say. Plan your day every single day. If you can plan your day every day, you're gonna succeed. You're gonna make progress. Now, I didn't even get to the other kinds of cocoons yet. So there's the extended cocoon, which is what I did at the beginning of this year. I took an extended cocoon. I asked everybody around me if they could not be around for a while, if I could just isolate myself into my cocoon. I say isolate, I don't mean isolate, I mean structure. Although I was isolated, I was by myself, I was in my own little bubble. And I did that for 3 months. I was in my cocoon for 3 months. I still saw people here and there, but ultimately it was me to get my mind right. I was like listening to audios on YouTube, learning audios, all these teachers, basically most of the day. I would read in the morning for a few hours. I'd pick up some really good books. I'd follow some different mentors. That was my extended cocoon time, and I was able to build my entire treasure map for this year and probably for years to come. We'll see how long this treasure map actually takes me, but I'm pretty sure it's going to take me a long way. But I've built my treasure map now in those 3 months. Now, you don't have to take an entire full cocoon like I did, an extended cocoon. Although I would say if you've never done it, you should try it. Maybe it doesn't have to be 3 months, maybe it could be 1 month. But if you need a really clear new direction, find some alone time and structure it. If you live alone and you're calling yourself lonely, change that frame. Because if you live alone, you have so much free time. You have so much time to spend on your dreams. If you start structuring it and not calling it loneliness, choose to change your focus from loneliness to I have ample alone time. Because a lot of people don't get this much alone time. If you live alone, a lot of people have families, they got things that they got to do, they got kids. They don't get that much alone time. You got to force alone time when you have a family. But if you're single or if you're living by yourself, you have so much valuable time to write your music, because your body is an instrument played by your mind. And if you give yourself a daily cocoon, you're going to be able to write your own music. You're going to be able to learn how to read your own music, to play your instrument, because your body is the piano. Your life is the saxophone. You are the instrument played by your mind, but you gotta learn how to write your own music. You gotta learn how to read your own music, and you gotta learn how to play your own music, okay? So I hope you vibe with all this, everybody. I love you, and look, the sun is coming up, baby. Oh yeah, that's so beautiful. So the other type of cocoon, so there's the daily cocoon for an hour, 2 hours, however long you want to give yourself per day, and there is a extended cocoon. Now, there's a third type of cocoon that I want to mention because it's the necessary type of cocoon when we live in this world. That is the nano cocoon. The nano cocoon is taking a moment when you need a moment. When you're in the middle of some chaos, if people are overwhelming you or you're finding yourself being overwhelmed in a situation, step away, step away, step away. Go to the bathroom. Fake answer your phone, do something, step away. Step away prior to you popping, if you have a tendency to pop. Only because I've been there, you know, I have my moments. And I've learned in those moments of bubbling anger or heat or whatever happens when I'm living in the chaos and things are overtaking me and I feel like overwhelmed, sometimes you just need a moment to yourself. It doesn't have to be an hour. It's a nano cocoon. And that's just you going outside, taking a breath of fresh air, or you meowing for a little bit. If you meow, you're gonna have more energy and you're gonna feel better. But what is meowing? It's moringa, exercise, oxygen, and water. So take some moringa, go run in place or jump scop or hopscotch or jump rope, I don't know, push-ups, good ones, and drink some water and breathe, baby, breathe. So if you are feeling bad, maybe you can meow during your cocoon and you're gonna feel better. I do take a moringa every single day. And in fact, I need to do a full video for you guys about moringa up here because I haven't done a moringa video in a while. And moringa is a magical plant, the most nutrient dense food on the planet, and we get to grow it in our backyards. And if you can't grow it in your backyard, you can grow it in your front yard. Can't grow it in your front yard, you can grow it in your side yard. Can't grow it in your side yard, you can just buy the powder. Buy the capsules and still eat it every single day. But it's a very, very good food to eat, and I will do a video on that soon. But anyways, I hope you guys got some value out of today's episode. Really, I just want to encourage you. Life's hard, and it's not going to stop getting harder. It's not going to stop. Like, this is life we're living, guys. The way it's going to get easier is when you make that mindset shift. When you shift your mindset from one of whatever you're thinking that's negative, from the noise, when you shift it to the music. Because when you're playing music, you're excited, you're happy, you're fun. It's fun, right? So anyways, play a symphony with your mind, with the chaos of life, because you can do it. So I love you all, everybody. You guys are all awesome. I love looking at these mountains behind me here. Oh my goodness gracious. So where do you guys want to see me hike next? I want a quick, intense hike. I like this hike because it's quick and intense. Whoops. Moon is, oh, there's the moon again. So, all right, everybody, you're amazing. You're awesome. You have gold in your mind, and I just want to help you find it. So hopefully you have an incredible week, an incredible month, incredible year, an incredible life, because you are incredible. So I love you so much. And until next time, my name is David A. Stone. I will see you tomorrow on my hike. Put in the comments below what your 30-day challenge is, and if you think I'm cheating if I have a cup of coffee. All right, guys. Till next time, develop awesome skills and go find your gold.